Good evening, everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the special event here at Gavra Racing. We're delighted to be hosting a very special evening here around Spa-Francorchamps, and I'm very glad to be welcoming you all to this wonderful occasion that we're about to have. We're about to go into one-shot qualifying, but this event has been brewing for a few weeks now, and we're delighted to have on board sponsoring us for this event, Game Changer, who are providing some wonderful prizes on offer for tonight's action that has just started out on circuit as we follow the cars coming out of turn one currently. Just to give you a bit of an idea, Game Changer, they have a racing universe that they're creating and want to get everybody involved as much as possible, and it's delightful to have us, Gavra, here in partnership with them. There's some prizes available for everybody tonight, not just the drivers out on circuit. There's a €50 prize first place, €30 for second, and 20 for third place. But if you're watching live right now, you also have the opportunity to gain €10 if you are in the draw and have subscribed to the Twitch channel of Gavra Racing. So you're in it to win it now, and I hope you are very lucky for those that are watching this evening. We've got Ben Roberts up front at the moment as they fly around Pouhon Corner, the infamous quick turn 12. It's Ben Roberts leading the way at the present moment with Shortbread just in behind. Not surprised to see those two near the front. They have won multiple races before in Gavra. Go round the next corner, turn 15, Stavolo. And Ben Roberts is right up there. Born Winner's moved up as well. He was in the fight for the pre-season event earlier this week. End was Born Winner just 2 days ago. Had a good fight with TGT Chris for the race victory, but Ben and Shortbread and Born Winner are your top three as we come on the brakes down into the bus stop chicane for this first of the one-shot qualifying sessions. It looks like it's going to be Ben coming out of the final corner who's going to get pole, and it is not. It's Born Winner at the last corner, fires it out, and the man driving the Haas has got one pole position. Great effort at the final corner. It was so close all the way through. I was convinced that Ben Roberts had it, but by 300ths of a second, the Swede Born Winner has pole position. It's Ben in second, Shortbread third. Then there's a huge gap back to Jos in fourth place, nearly a second in fact. Dino, X-Natty G, Umper, Denmark, Morocom and Kobe P rounding out the top 10. We had a number of drivers not set a qualifying lap. That was Frizzy Prism, Miami Dylan, J Sabron GT and the Steps. A full 20 car grid for tonight's action. So we're up to speed very quickly here with Gavra, no messing around. This is a really great opportunity for those to gain themselves just a little bit of cash that come in handy. We are in October, so people might be thinking about Christmas presents already, to be fair. Now, just a couple of rules to mention for this race so far. Oh, we've got a full wet race here, so that could turn things up for the first race evening. Now, for those that don't know, first race is a 35% race, and then we got another one-shot qualifying, and then we got a 25% race after that. The points will get totaled together from the two races. Don't forget, fastest lap is included in the points as well, so you get 1 point for fastest lap. So 2 races to prove themselves, and we've got a wet first race here at Spa. We know the weather around it can be very inconsistent, but I'm sure that the drivers, if they want to get that prize money that has been provided by Game Changer, I know for a fact that they'll have to be at the top of their game to do that. So let us see everyone getting their cars set up ready for the race. Very wet conditions. We've got a Haas on the left hand side and a McLaren on the right. Who will make the best start here at Spa? And the race is live for the first one of the evening. Looks like a good launch from Born Winner. There's a couple of slides in the background. That's a Ferrari round. Shari's gone round. He's took someone with him, but it's Shortbread diving into turn one, and he takes the lead, but his exit was slow off the corner, and Born Winner reclaims that lead. Ben Roberts is all over the curve. There's a Williams all over the place. I think that was Denmark going backwards and into the wall. unfortunately for those guys, but Born Winner leads. It's Shortbread second as they come over the top of the hill. Ben Roberts is third. He's got Dino all over the back of him. Now, Dino, a driver well known amongst everybody here within Gavra Racing, is going for a potential podium for the first race of the evening. You've got Natty G in behind everybody. Joss is there in sixth. There's a yellow flag out there. Sachetto and Shari are trading blows in terms of spins. It's Umper, then it's Dr. Strauss, it's Matka, then there's a huge load of slides coming out of the Lacombe corner. Fantastic so far. Really, really close action on circuit. We're following the Mercedes of Shortbread currently. That's Yoss going backwards. He didn't get a good exit out of turn 9. But Born Winner and Shortbread are almost a second clear of Dino now in third place. There's another yellow flag out there. That's Jay Sabron. And the steps might have been caught up in that as well. So not a good start for those drivers in the bottom 4 places on the timing tower on the left-hand side. But this has been a frenetic opening lap. We're not even at the end of it. These full extreme wet Pirellis getting used already, just showing you how difficult the conditions are. Oh, big slide from Dino in the background. But we are following Shortbread. Again, that striking purple helmet that he uses, you can definitely see that it's him. Born Winner leads the way. On the brakes for the first time down into the bus stop chicane. Big wobble from Born Winner. That's another car. That's Dino going off the road. He got that all wrong. Oh, there's all sorts of slowdown happening. And that is Natty G up to third. Morocom goes through. Ben Roberts hasn't took advantage. Shortbread and Born Winner for the race lead at turn 1. Ben Roberts is disconnected. Shortbread and Born Winner, they're very close together, but it's Shortbread who takes the lead. Don't forget Shortbread, multiple series champion here with Gavra. Another yellow flag, that's Dr. Strauss and Matka going backwards. Born Winner though in the wheel tracks of the race leader at the moment. Doesn't look like he's got as much straight line speed compared to the Mercedes in front of him. Now to slot back in together. I forget, those that are watching, it's your first time at Gavra, do make sure you give the stream a follow. It'd be really good to see all that interaction as best as we can. But Shortbread is leading. He's under huge pressure from Born Winner behind. You've got Morocom in third place. Ex-Nasty G putting a move on Yoss for 5th place. Dino's there in 4th. Good start this from Morocom, a debutant this season. He was running okay in the pre-season events, and now he's running in 3rd for this. So don't forget, everybody, you can have a great first race and a rubbish second one, and that can completely change where the drivers finish in the order. That's Yoss going backwards. He's had a moment, that's before Puon actually, down the straight there, so it's not worked out for him. But this is a really close fight at the front of the field. Hello to everyone who is in the comments as well. There's quite a few of you commenting at the moment. Good to see you joining the stream. But these two running away with it at the front. Following in the mid-pack at the moment, one of the McLarens and the AlphaTauris. What looks to be, at the moment, Dr. Strauss and everybody else, and that's Kobe P. On the exit of turn number 16, he's gone backwards, he's rejoined. A little bit unsafe, it has to be said, and Mikey does his best to avoid all of that. Mikey up to 12th, he started in 16th place. Good start for him so far. Born Winner getting it all wrong out of the exit turn. Last corner, and Shortbread is a second clear as we start lap 3 of this race. Shortbread will be happy with that little wobble from Born Winner. He'll be open for more of that. Morocom still there in 3rd place. You've got Miami Dillon up the inside of Ben Roberts. I think Ben has rejoined. He has done, but he's going to be really wound up about the fact that he disconnected. Following Morocom for Eau Rouge. Hopefully Gav will slip his way back. And Ben Roberts has left the session again. He's disconnected again. What was looking like one of the favourites is completely out. Joss is out as well. J&B Surreal is out as well. J&B Surreal's crashed out, actually. Over the top of Eau Rouge. He's in the wall on the right-hand side. Game over. And Miami Dillon's gone off the road. Well, it's all happening in this sponsored event from Game Changer. Good to have them on board with us, but Shortbread has a second over Born Winner after his big wobble out of the final corner. Morocom in 3rd place. Natty G running as he always does. quietly but assuredly in fourth. It's Umper 225. Got a race podium last season. Did Umper in tier 2. Ben has rejoined, but his car's DNF'd. Sadly, that is that for Ben. He can't rejoin the race. Dino slipped back to 6th place. Frizzy Prism in 7th. Denmark in 8th. The Steps 9th. And Miami Dylan rounding out the top 10. You got Dr. Strauss pretty close behind too. That's Denmark going up to 7th place. We're following the Haas at the moment. Ooh, big slide from Moracom into the penultimate corner there. These wet conditions certainly do bring out the best in the drivers. And you know, some drivers are very, very quick in the dry weather conditions, but the wet with these blue Pirellis, they tend to have a lot more lift in the car. It rises the car just a little bit more with the blocks of the tyre. And that can just upset the car characteristics a little bit. And if drivers aren't used to that, you'll see the gaps start to appear after just 4 laps. X90G's 3 seconds back. Umper's nearly 4 seconds back from X90G. He's got Dino with him. There's no DRS, of course, as well in this race because of how wet it is. Dino is the closest, one of the closest fights on circuit. Frizzy Prism, though, goes back in front of Denmark for 7th place. Miami Dylan being overtaken by Dr. Strauss as well. Important to make a mention here that Denmark, as he goes back up the inside of Frizzy, ooh, big snap of oversteer into turn 8. And look at this, the Steps going through as well. And that's a great overtake from the Steps. Started from the back of the grid. He's absolutely flown through the order. Up 12 places, a wonderful start from the McLaren, but he's got a long way to go. And getting past Denmark, who, just to confirm, is from Sweden, not from Denmark, just so you know. But if he gets past Denmark, you feel that the Steps will have a lot of opportunities to pull up to that gap to Dino and Umper in front of him. Steps has typically driven well in wet weather conditions before. Cut back to Moracom running in 3rd place. He's up 6 spots. He's having a good race. That's a spin for, I think, Frizzy Prism's just had a little moment somewhere. He's lost a lot of time, and he's lost more than that. He's lost the front wing as well. So Frizzy is going to have to box and get a new front wing on that car. There's no way he's going to be able to survive. I'm amazed we haven't had a safety car yet, but there hasn't been what you would call a huge incident on circuit just yet. Frizzy goes into the pits. Miami Dylan goes past. That's Dr. Strauss struggling on the grass there. I'm just watching as we follow the Haas through Eau Rouge. I'm watching the fights a little bit further back as Frizzy goes and gets a new front wing now. But Shortbread still keeping himself in front of Born Winner. He's about a second clear currently. Still quite close between these two. Still the tension for either driver. Be a lot of tension there. Dino's going to look at a move for 5th place as we hopefully cut back to Dino. He's all over the rear wing of the Alpine in front of him. But he's lost all of that exit momentum he would have needed out of Les Combes chicane at turn 9. He drops back to 6th place. Well, he stays there, but in terms of length, he's dropped backwards. Denmark and the Steps still close together for 7th place. And Kobe P and Miami Dylan having a good fight for the last 2 spots inside the top 10. Steps just can't get on the power. Denmark just seems to have a little bit more traction in his setup at the moment. Same with Dino and Umper for that matter. But Dr. Strauss has got past Kobe into 10th place. I think Kobe's had a little mistake somewhere out on track. Not ideal. The gap's just spreading a little bit more. We're at the 3rd waypoint of this race. I have to say, it looks a little bit drier from the onboards. So following the McLaren of the Steps at the moment, it looks a little bit drier. It looks like there's a line appearing, maybe. Someone might want to be a little bit brave, go for the intermediates. It's unlikely that they would unless a safety car came out. That's Denmark having a huge slide. into the bus stop chicane. Well held there from the Williams. Clearly, though, the Denmark decided to use a little bit more rear brake bias in his setup. Dino tried to overtake Umpa there, but he got it all wrong. You can see the traction that Dino doesn't have compared to Umpa. The same with the steps to Denmark. They don't have the traction compared to the cars in front of them. Denmark just getting off up the road. In the fight for 10th, you got Dr. Strauss and Kobe together on circuit. Ooh, that's a bit too close towards Eau Rouge. Sure enough, Kobe just backs out of it. Oh, but back at the front, though, we have a big fight for the lead once again. Has Shortbread had a little error, I wonder? Because that gap is less than a second. Moracom just running in third place. That's good for picking up points. That's Sachetto round at the exit of, looks like turn 16. Second part of Stablo, if you want to call it that. But it is Born Winner now applying the pressure to Shortbread. So far so good. 6 laps down. And it is certainly looking like it's getting a little bit drier. But having said that, depending on what car you're following, it's a little bit more difficult to tell. Who knows? But Born Winner is right in the gearbox of Shortbread. You can see the red light flashing of Shortbread as he tries to harvest a little bit of energy. And Moracom's going for it. So Moracom and X90G are going for the pits. Now that is a brave decision. I'm going to watch as obviously Born Winner and Shortbread together on circuit at the moment. Intermediate tyres being prepped for X90G and Moracom then. They are going for it. And Shortbread is right under the cosh from Born Winner. But he just can't get close enough. He was a little bit too close to the back of Shortbread over the top of Eau Rouge and Radion. Ooh, as he slides the car into the corner. So Born Winner just couldn't get the momentum he would have wanted. Everybody looks like they're firing into the pit lane. Frizzy Prism, they're setting the new fastest lap of the race on the wet tyres still. So it's showing that the track is getting that little bit drier. And I called it a few laps ago. I did say that it looked like the circuit was getting dry. There was a few lines appearing in the road. But Born Winner is really pushing hard. And Shortbread, no stranger to extreme pressure. He's been racing with Gavra for a number of seasons. He knows exactly where to place his car. He won't be worrying too much at the moment. I think the steps has gone round. Yeah, he's had a wobble actually. I think he's just about got away with it. But Shortbread is in front. He knows how to deal with this pressure. If Born Winner goes past him, he won't make any rash decisions. He will just decide to stick with Born Winner for a bit until he can pounce later on. But this Haas is closing up towards Blanchimont. A little bit of a lift from the pair of them. And then they're going to brake just before the 100-metre marker down into what will be second gear. Ooh, Shortbread goes very deep. They're both in the pits. Now, I've got to mention this because Moracom is flying on those intermediates. He's took 4 seconds out on this lap alone. The Haas driver is putting a shift in currently. Both Shortbread and Born Winner now in the pit lane. Let's keep an eye out. Shortbread gets out of the pits now. Where is Moracom? He's just coming out of the final corner. This is going to be close. Shortbread's coming towards that line now. Where is Moracom? Oh, he's not quite there. It was the right strategy. He could get a good run on Born Winner towards turn 1. He's going to look towards it at turn 2. He's going to be side by side and Born Winner backs out of it. That worked out for Moracom. His tyres are up to temperature as well. He'll know what the grip conditions are like. But that was a good decision from Moracom to try and undercut. He was flying. And he's up to second place. Now, Born Winner will be frustrated with that. Look at this. This just shows you Mikey, fastest lap of the race on the intermediate, a 57.3. Take a picture, everybody. That doesn't happen often for Mikey. I am his friend. I could take the mick out of him. It's fine. But in any case, it's Shortbread leading the way. Murakam there in second, Born Winner in third. Natty G's also closed the gap as well, so this is a 4-car fight for the victory. Now, I dare say I'd be very surprised if it dried up enough for slicks, but let's not rule it out just yet. Umper's there in 5th position, Dino in 6th, Steps is 7th, Kobe's up to 8th, Miami Dill is 9th, and Mikey pitting earlier than everybody up to 10th, so it's worked out well for the Mercedes. Denmark's fallen outside of the top 10, so it just shows you how important strategy is even lower down the field. Natty G, though, is looking quick. He's got some pace in those intermediates. A new fastest middle sector from the Alfa Romeo that is 4th. But Born Winner wants to get on with this. He's got Murakam just in front of him. Oh, big understeer for Born Winner through Blanchimont. That's just caused by the back of the car running very close. Can affect the front wing. Look at that, Sachetto goes quicker. Sachetto's 17th. And about to be lapped. Look at these lap times, though. They'll soon come across like Murakam at 54, but a Natty G 53. And these lap times are only going to get quicker and quicker now. But you feel at the moment that Born Winner is kind of holding up more, being held up by Murakam at the moment. And look at that, Shortbread over a second clear. Murakam and Born Winner. Born Winner's got to get on with this if he wants to go and overtake him. He's very close to the rear wing of his teammate in the slipstream. The battery usage is high. Born Winner goes around the outside down the main straight and takes second place from his teammate. Having spoken about the track becoming, maybe it won't dry enough in time, I am starting to see a few drier lines appearing. Still raining on circuit. I think it might dry up just a little bit too late for the slick runners. Matt Kerr in the pits in 13th place. I'm not sure quite what's happened to him. Mikey trying to go around the outside of Miami. Dillon from 9th place just whilst I was watching the fight at the front. Gene Haas and Gunter Steiner, they'll be chuffed with their 2 cars in the top 3 places on the podium, but it's not a team's fight tonight. It's all about the solo driver. Born Winner, though, looking comfortable on these intermediates. He's got another, that's a new purple sector, the fastest driver in sector 2. This is good driving from Born Winner, looking to get that victory that he's been hunting for since last season. You've got 2 drivers in front as well, Jay Sabron and Sachetto. They're about to be lapped, so they need to get out of the way, but maybe that's an opportunity for the drivers to cause a little bit of mischief. Maybe Born Winner can try and use those 2 cars in front to get past Shortbread. Maybe it'll distract the Mercedes in the lead. This has been a great race so far. Lots of action on circuit, loads of overtakes. There are some big gaps in the field. Dino is sick, 13 seconds behind Umper. Steps is now up to 7th. And there's another big gap back to Kobe, who's 11 seconds back in 8th. And then Shari is 21 seconds behind the next group. He's got Matka all over the back of him. There are some fights happening out on track. Of course, we are using the Formula One official point scoring system for this race. So 25 points, 18 points, 15 points for the top 3 places, and then so on and so forth, all the way down to the 1 point that Mikey currently has. But these drivers, yeah, look at this. They're just ghosting through, actually, and Shortbread goes past. A little bit disconcerting when you see a car ghosting between you as you go through mid-corner. But Born Winner has used that to good effect. He's now right within 4/10 of the Mercedes. And they've pulled away from Murakam and X90 G. There's Matka further back in a fight for himself. Umper in 5th place. Now you see, you know, if anyone who finishes in the points for this race, it's good for them for race 2. Because don't forget the points crossover from both races tonight. Born Winner trying a different line into the final corner. You'll have seen that, but he just didn't quite get the line he needed. And Murakam is falling away. It is looking like now a fight from the quartet to the duo at the front, but a big snap of oversteer from Born Winner on the exit of turn 1. That just allows Shortbread another bit of breathing room that he can use to just refocus. X90G, oh, X90G with a huge moment through Eau Rouge. I thought he was going to be in the wall. Gets away with it as the steps now goes past Dino for 6th place. Towards turn 1. There you go, those two, but it's Shortbread leading the way. He's still got Born Winner with him. And this is it now for the drivers, that, you know, regardless of whether it's Shortbread in the lead or Born Winner behind, the adrenaline starts to kick up in these last few laps. The strategy starts to go a little bit out of the window if you're living in the heat of the moment in this race. And Born Winner will have to try and plan his attack as carefully and as efficiently as possible. Whereas Shortbread will have to be thinking about how can he defend in particular areas of track. Where is he slower compared to Born Winner, and how does he just make sure his car is as wide as the Euro tunnel between France and the United Kingdom? That's what he has to do. So two different mentalities here in terms of attacking and defence, but both just as important as the other. Ben saying in a couple of comments just coming in saying regarding any lagging. I haven't had any issues during my commentary. Looking through at the stream, it doesn't look too bad at all. But I know there are a few moments where it has spiked a little bit. But we're watching, and there's another fight going out on circuit at the moment here between Mikey Denmark and Frizzy Prism with a little slap of oversteer on the exit of turn 13. These three close together. Mikey, the other Mercedes, one of them leading the race, the other one in the tail end of the points, having to try and hold off from Denmark. He's going to look to go around the outside at Blanchimont and goes through, but he picks up a time penalty as he does it. Here comes Frizzy Prism, gets it completely wrong and flies off the road. Well, he went for a gap that you could argue wasn't really there. Mikey and Denmark both survive. I know that Mikey won't be pleased and Frizzy Prism won't be pleased either, but that was a bit of a 2 cars into 1, just don't go. I can't fault anybody for that incident. But that ends that little battle. Meanwhile, further up the field, X-Natty-G running with Morocom. The front of the race, though, is absolutely exhilarating. It's been relentless so far. Born Winner still there with Shortbread. Now, I can't comment. I can see that the comments coming in on the Twitch feed. If you're watching this back on YouTube, there's a couple of comments coming in about the drivers' battery uses between one another. And I don't like to say much about that when I'm commentating, because that could just, maybe if one of those two, maybe Shortbread or Born Winner, are listening in, they might get a tactical advantage. And I don't want to give that opportunity to either of them. But it is an interesting scenario we're in right now. And Born Winner, again, looks very comfortable in the traction zones, does the Haas. Seems to have tighter turn in than Shortbread, but Shortbread has the straight line speed, so maybe the car's just set up a little bit differently from one another. Oh, look at this, that's a good run through Eau Rouge and Radion for the Haas. Look at this, he's closing in. Now this might be the first chance we get to see it, an overtake towards Lecom for the race lead. He goes to the outside, does Born Winner. He's going to try and brake a little bit later, but he cannot go through. And this is what I said earlier about attacking and defending. They're both as important as one another. And Shortbread is fending off valiantly currently. This, of course. Ooh, Born Winner just running a little too deep. That's X-Natty-G going through, is he? Round the outside at turn 9. This could be a great move, and it is. What an overtake that is from X-Natty-G for 3rd place. He might not catch the race leaders unless there's an incident, but he'll be chuffed with that overtake. That is a move of the race so far. Going around the outside of turn 9 in intermediate conditions. We are just 2 laps away after this one from the race finish for the first of the evening. Ooh, as Born Winner just goes on the curb on the exit of turn 16. Don't want to run too close there. It's been a really good drive though. Coming back to the X90G Moricom fight, this has been a really good drive from Moricom. Been impressed with him so far this evening. But Born Winner doesn't care about anybody else. He wants that race victory, and Shortbread goes a little bit deeper into the bus stop chicane. Born Winner right with him, but he just can't get close enough. Shortbread has the traction to just pull away each time. They've got a back marker in front of them, but that is a wrong line from Shortbread. But look at this again, the same thing. Shortbread just has enough traction to not worry about it. Now the key thing here is going to be the exit out of Eau Rouge and Radion. Up the hill we go. He's right there this time as Born Winner. Battery usage is on. They're both plying the battery. Here to the inside comes Born Winner. This is going to be the first proper overtake potentially into Laycom. They're side by side going into the chicane. Shortbread goes around the outside. He holds his line. Born Winner can't get through. He gets squeezed out of the way, and he picks up a time penalty, and Shortbread will breathe a sigh of relief at that. And X90G's just done the same thing as well, but Shortbread will breathe a sigh of relief now. It doesn't matter if he gets overtaken by Born Winner as long as he stays within 3 seconds of the time penalty that the Haas driver's just got. He will win this first race. Wow, that is unbelievable. X90G picked up a time penalty at the same corner as Born Winner did. And Moricom could be back on for 3rd place. So the penultimate lap of this race, Born Winner sat in 2nd place. He'll want to try and overtake Shortbread. I'm sure he will. Maybe hope that he gets a chance to go past him. But he'll have to dust himself off and go again for race 2. As we approach the chicane for the penultimate time of asking. And Born Winner just experimenting with different lines. Last driver in the top 10, Denmark, from Sweden, just to reiterate. But we are in the last lap, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final lap. And Shortbread still leads from Born Winner. Born Winner's got an incredible setup in terms of conserving his energy systems that he's got. Shortbread also for the same reason. But Shortbread looks like he's got the advantage he needs now. And just needs to keep it clean at this point, and he'll take the race victory. Natty G in 3rd position, Moricom there in 4th. Looks like those positions will swap. Umper, the Steps is in 6th. That's been a good fight back from the Steps. Don't rule him out for race 2. And it's Dino, Kobe P, Miami Dillon. And he's got Denmark with him for the last spot in the top 10. But we come round P1. And Born Winner is right with the Mercedes. He closes up a little bit on the braking into Campus. Around this left-hander, both of them feathering the throttle just a little bit. And then to Stavolo we go. And then it's up through the gears. Now, will Born Winner try and mount an attack on this final lap? The answer is no. He's not using any of his battery. Loads of time penalties for this race. This final finishing order is going to be very intriguing. But Shortbread, he's done a great job this evening. He's held on for dear life from Born Winner. And he's just got one corner to go. He's just got to get the exit right, which it looks like he's going to do. And it is Shortbread 224 who wins the first race of the evening. Here with Gavra for the special events sponsored by Game Changer. It's Moricom in 3rd place. That's a great effort from him. And that was a fantastic race to watch. Really enjoyed that. Other drivers now coming across the line. Got to wait for a little bit actually before we get to the Steps, who now comes across the line, as does Dino. Kobe P is across the line as well. And the last of the point scorers also coming across the line now too, serving their penalties. And it is Denmark who comes home in 9th place. And Mikey gets a point in the end, so that just shows you, ladies and gentlemen, keep it clean. Don't pick up too many time penalties and you will end up with a good result. Let's have a quick look to see the other driver just coming around the last couple of corners is Shari. Now also just to factor in the fastest lap point went to Born Winner there. But that was a great race. We'll run through these totals, surely these point totals. Pushadino, a couple of comments coming in from a few drivers who've just been racing there. We've got Pierre, who just said DRS enabled it for the in-lap. It did look like it was getting a lot drier. Mikey saying it was hard. Natty G saying he got distracted looking at who got a 3-second time penalty, then got one himself. Makes sense. Pushadino saying he's messed up the podium. Yeah, you did. Kobe P actually switched traction control back on. It was that tough for him in the wet conditions. Well, there is Shortbread celebrating on the podium. Mercedes fans delighted, no doubt, with another race victory to add to their growing list as an F1 constructor. But it is Shortbread. Let's go through these final positions. Shortbread, who takes the race victory. Born Winner takes 2nd place. 19 points for him, though, don't forget, because he got fastest lap. Moracom is 3rd. What a result for him. Ex-Natty G4. Umper in 5th place. The Steps with 6th. A good recovery drive from 20th on the grid. Certainly a contender for driver of the day. F1 Dino and Kobe P 7th and 8th. Denmark in 9th, and fair play to Mikey getting the last point in the top 10. You also have, rounding out the race finishes, Miami Dillon, Matt Kerr, Frizzy Prism, Shari Sachetto, Jay Sabron, Dr. Strauss, all finishing. Admittedly, a couple of those on a lap down. JMP Surreal, Ben Roberts and Joss, sadly, all retiring from the first race of the evening. Shortbread has just said, and I didn't make a point of this because, again, if anyone's watching this, you can get some strategy out of it. But I did notice on my data that I was looking at, Shortbread was very low on fuel in the last few laps, and he's just confirmed that he ran out of fuel over the finish line, which kind of sums it up, really. So we're just having a little bit of a breather before we get ready for the next race. 25%, of course. And hello to everyone who is currently watching here live with Gavra for the special event sponsored by Game Changer. You can go onto their website, www.234online.site. Do check it out. It's a website that is planning to launch very, very soon. They're about to launch their whole new brand identity within the next 3 weeks. Really exciting developments going on with Game Changer universe. It's going to be great to see how they develop over the next few years in their community. And it's very, very, very lovely to have them on board with us tonight here with Gavra. Don't forget as well, if you're watching and it's new to Gavra for the first time ever, do check out the Gavra Racing website. The Alta Vista one is the one that you're looking for, alongside the social media channels as well. And of course, our lovely Discord community here with Gavra. But it is really nice to have everyone here this evening, a full grid as well, which is always a positive. And don't forget, the brand new season with Gavra starts this weekend, or rather, not this weekend. Pretty soon. We had our most recent event, which was the pre-season event last weekend, which was good to watch, really enjoyable to commentate on, as always. And the new season will be starting on the 8th of October. Or rather the 15th of October, I should say. Gav, who will be listening into the stream at the moment, just a word to the wise for him, that one of his calendars for Tier 1 starts this weekend, the other one starts the weekend after. Now that could be due to time conflicts, admittedly. But it is season number 4. And if you want to get involved in that, there are a few odd spots left on the grid. And if you want to get involved, which I'm sure you do, then you can just sign up through the Gavra website. Go and check it out on there. Got some good action, some ability for you to try and develop your racecraft, go faster, enjoy a nice community, get involved. Wonderful place to be. So we are a few minutes away before we go into the second qualifying of the evening. At a very wet race, it was strategy bound though in the end between the wets and the intermediates. And how will the drivers now get on for the next event? We are getting also a new lobby for the next event. So hopefully we will get an invite to that shortly. And just to confirm that there are 2 separate dates for the season start. So Weekend League 1 will be starting on the 8th this Sunday. Next week we'll see the start of Tier 2 in terms of the time conflicts with the real life F1, of course. I suspected that was the case, but I do appreciate the confirmation. People trying to guess my age currently in the chat there. It's very kind of you. Thanks, Mikey. Everyone now believes Mikey's comment is factual. I am in my 20s for those that are very curious about this. But we're still waiting for everybody to rejoin this new lobby that we've got going on here. Thank you, JMB Surreal. I'm not quite that old yet. Oh, it's, well, for the comments that are coming in. Oh, you want some F1 lore? Okay, so someone has put a comment in the chat to say, give us some F1 lore. Well, where can we start? Well, we're at Spa-Francorchamps, of course. So let's talk a little bit about the track. Obviously, it's been around for a very long time. It's 7 kilometers as a track. I think it was opened in 1925. It's gone under about 5 or 6 different iterations over the years. Obviously, you had the long Grand Prix circuit with, I think it was first made in the 30s. That was the old style track with the Master Kink chicane. That run for about 40 years. You had the pre-war circuit a little bit before that. So before you came to Eau Rouge, there used to be another section where you'd have to slow down to first gear, go left, go round one of the towns, and then come back through. So that added about a minute or so on the lap. But there's so many extensive, incredible stories, of course, around Spa and this wonderful event. Everyone will remember the 1998 race where David Coulthard lost the back end of his car in the McLaren, caused that huge multi-car pile-up shunt. Remember Max Verstappen, his first major overtake when he was driving for Toro Rosso in I believe it was 2016, when he overtook Felipe Nasr round the outside of Blanchimont. There's so many historic moments around here. One of the interesting fact about Spa actually is that it quite regularly is used as part of the Tour de France, the bike race. They typically do time trial events around the circuit sometimes. So that's sort of quite a unique thing to have for a circuit for a Formula One track, because obviously Tour de France doesn't just encompass France; it does make some visits to other elements and areas of Europe as well. But it is a track with a lot of history, and I would certainly recommend, if you ever have the opportunity to go to any Formula One race, in terms of accessibility, because it's a little bit cheaper typically Spa than most Formula One circuits. You want to look to go to this track, enjoy the town as well. Loads of places to stay. Yeah, Shortbread making a comment there about it is up there with one of the most deadly circuits. There was quite a lot of fatal accidents around Spa in the 1960s. Quite particularly gruesome ones as well. But one of the drivers who particularly was very quick around this circuit back then was Jim Clark. Jim Clark won 4 times in the 60s. He hated the circuit, but just had this affinity with the track and won several times in a wet race. Jackie Stewart won round here by quite a good few minutes as well. He lapped most of the field apart from Bruce McLaren in 68 or 69, I believe. Pierre putting a comment about Nordschleifer might have the record. In terms of obviously Nordschleifer nowadays has quite a lot of track events that go on, so naturally the more events there are, statistically there are going to be more accidents of that kind, sadly. But for a Formula One circuit, I think Spa is slightly further ahead than the Nordschleife. I'm not including pre-war Grand Prix racing because that's very different. But if you start from 1950, when Formula One first originated as a championship, you'd want to look to there and maybe have a look at the statistics. Quite grim reading if you want to do that, of course. But yeah, that is something to check out. Denmark saying, fun fact, Jim Clark wasn't Danish. No, he wasn't. Very true. He was British, 2-time champion in 63 and 65 for Lotus. Could have won in 64 as well at Monza, but then ran out of fuel after coming from a lap down that day. Loads of comments coming in from other people there in terms of visiting. It is difficult now, sadly, to get a Formula One ticket because of the cost involved, and you do have to save up for quite a long time to be able to afford one. Plus, availability is now becoming a problem at some circuits, as far as I've heard. But here we go. We are 20 seconds away from the new lobby starting up. We've got all of the drivers in, as far as I'm aware, although I think we are minus Joss, sadly, after his DNF from earlier. But we are going to be starting very, very shortly now. And it'll be another one-shot qualifying session for the drivers to try and get themselves into the zone. Shortbread, Born Winner, Morocom, X90G, they were the class of the field before. Can they do the same thing again? Can the steps make an impression on the drivers as well? Don't forget, the steps came from 20th to finish in 6th place before. He's going to be one to watch if the conditions go his way. Let's have a look at what the track is going to be like. We're waiting for it to come up on screen. Looks like it's dry. We've got a dry qualifying session. Someone has readied up straight away, so people who've got to load their setups are going to have to do this very quickly. And just a couple of other comments coming in. Sim Freedom saying, please be dry. Money Game, hello to you. Hope you're doing well, son. But we are going into qualifying in the next 30 seconds. Looks like it's restarted again there in terms of the countdown. Sometimes the countdown can be quite incorrect if you're a spectator. It doesn't come up properly sometimes, so it can lull you into a false sense of security. So we are just a few seconds left before we go into the one-shot qualifying session. Very important not to invalidate your lap in terms of track limits. And off we go. So towards turn one, the drivers arrive at nearly 180 miles an hour into that first corner at La Source. Shortbread, though, is the man at the top of the queue currently. As they go around Eau Rouge, up through the top of Radion, over 200 miles an hour as they blip the DRS. That is 2 drivers out already. Build way up to 215 miles an hour before you hit the brakes into the Lacombe chicane, turns 6, 7, 8 and 9. And then back on the power as quickly as you can towards the next couple of corners. You got Bruel, this turn 8 here, and turn 9, a left-hander. Ooh, a little bit of a wiggle for the drivers near the front. They're really pushing this car towards P1. Absolutely flat once you've done a downshift in these F123 cars. The performance of ground effect really squats the car down through the higher speed corners. That downforce then works in conjunction with the ground effect. But it's Born Winner at the front currently. He got pole position before and he's really putting it down again. Ben Roberts has dropped out of the top 10. Not sure what's happened to Ben. Blanchimont completely flat in current F1 cars nowadays, and then it's towards a big braking zone here at the bus stop chicane. You've got to be hard on the brakes, down into second or third gear, depending on your preference, out of the final corner. It's going to be close at the line. Who's going to take pole? It's Born Winner once again with a great effort, and about half the other grid getting disqualified for track limits. A Born Winner once more by 3/10 this time, getting pole position. Then it's Shortbread, X90G and Dino again. Those two within a second of pole position. Then it's Steps in 5th place. Umper, Kirby P, Denmark, Sachetto, Matka, and then Jay Sabron, the only other driver not in the top 10 that set a lap time. Everybody else either didn't set a lap because they retired from it, or they were disqualified because of track limits. And that's a big name down at the bottom as well. Ben Roberts, see how he gets on tonight. Dino putting a comment in to say X90G, just let him through. I would say X90G is you do what you want, because that's the best thing to do. So it looks like we've got a dry race, and some will be very, very pleased with that. Their setup's more towards it, but it looks like there's a little bit of cloud overhead towards turn 1 at the top of the forest. You can just see the trees there. It looks like some grey skies. Maybe we might have an affected race with weather, just like we did a few moments ago. Gav saying dry race. Oompa Loompa saying he had such a bad lap. A couple of other people saying as well that track limits are quite hard around here. I think Sim Freedom was the one making that comment there. So we got 5 red lights coming up. We've got a Haas and a Mercedes on the front row again. And the race is live for the 25% race of the second round of the evening. Born winners into the lead. X90G is fighting for second place. Can he get front? No, he can't get in front of the car. Dino's going to be alongside him towards Eau Rouge they come. Turn 2, this completely flat right-hander. It is a corner officially. Dino, Natty, who's going to back out of it? Neither of them is the answer. Big wobble from Natty G, but he holds it. And Dino goes up to third. Natty's going to be vulnerable to Kobe P, which he already is. Here comes the steps through the middle of the cars. He's trying to do 3 wide. You've got Umpa there as well towards Laycom. And amazingly, they're just about keeping it all clean. That's good racecraft. Like to see that from everybody. But Born winner leads. It's Shortbread second. Dino up to third. Kobe P in 4th position. Then it's Umpa, then it's Natty G, it's the steps in 7th, Denmark, Matka, Frizzy Prism. All together on set. Oh, Frizzy just going into the wall at turn 9, he gets away with it. But that is J Sabron GT into 10th place. Now I've got to note that the top 10, only 3 of them are starting on the medium compound tyres. That is F1 Dino in 3rd place, the steps in 7th, and Matka in 9th. So a mix of strategy going on. So far, we're expecting the soft tyres to last about 5 to 10 laps. I mean, tyre wear on a 25% race isn't that bad, and that's the steps off the road at Stavolo, and that is his evening done, I'm afraid. As Umpa goes past X90G for 5th place, so X90 just falling down the grid, and Kobe up to 3rd. Kobe didn't score any points before. Oh, big snap of oversteer from the AlphaTauri. But Kobe P, one of our drivers in Tier 2, is putting a great display of performance up tonight. Right up there in the mix, as is Umpa. But the front 2 pulling away. They're already a second clear of the cars in front. Those 2 need to work together to get away from Kobe. They don't want to take the AlphaTauri anywhere near them. Ooh, bit of a awkward moment that for Kobe. And Dino is going to say thank you very much and go through. But Shortbread is going through. He gets the lead of the race on lap 2. Oh, 3 wide! Wow, into Laycom. But Kobe P emerges in front. Umpa's trying to go through on the exit of turn 7. And that's Umpa up the inside, and he's just got to brake a little bit later, and he does. He's into 3rd. Kobe P and Dino fighting for position. And that is Dino getting overtaken by X90 G, I should say there. Well, this has been really good action so far in just these opening few laps that we've had. I say opening few laps only because we're on lap 2. We've got a long way to go yet in this race. And that battle for the €50 prize is looking like it's between Born winner and Shortbread. Thanks once again to Game Changer for providing the sponsorship this evening. Umpa, though, into 3rd place, and it looks like the battle for 3rd. Anybody could end up taking the cash prize for that one. Where is Mauro, by the way? He's in 9th place. He's a couple of places behind X90G, but he's running the medium tyre, so he needs to get on with it. Hope that the race comes back to him. Shortbread sets a new fastest lap of the race. DRS now enabled on this lap. We're watching the fight at the front. Umpa's got a good queue of cars behind him, though, in 3rd place. So, towards Eau Rouge and Radion. Lap 3, climbing up the hill. It's very steep through there. Completely flat, though, in modern F1 cars. DRS wide open. Here comes Born winner for the race lead. He goes on through. And Umpa is going to be a sitting duck compared to Kobe P and X-Natty G. Is he going to try and go through? Natty looks to the outside. Ooh, Natty nearly losing the back end of the car. Lives to fight another day, though. And those 3 drivers from 3rd to 5th already putting a little bit of a gap on Denmark and Dino. And if Dino's getting held up, he wants to get past Denmark as soon as he can using those medium tyres. Big slide from Umpa into P1. He nearly got that off the road. got to be careful, these drivers. They don't want to throw away a chance at getting a prize, because they're all in the mix for that third spot. Looks like those top two, though, are the ones fighting it out mainly. Gotta say, though, born winner. Wow, absolutely flat. That's Jay Sabron out. Where has he's lost it? He's gone on the inside, and that is a full-blown safety car. He's lost it on the inside of Lefania, turn 13. Now, strategy. The medium tyres, in theory, should be able to last to the end of the race. So will Born Winner come into the pits? The answer to that question is yes. Everybody should be piling in. If they're on the soft tyres, you may as well... Oh, Umper got that all wrong into the pit lane. Hit the wall. Don't know if he's done any damage. In fact, everybody coming into the pits. Every single driver, apart from Mikey. Mikey's going for it. He's going to do something a little bit different. He's going to try and take the lead of the race on circuit. And why not? You just don't know what might happen tonight. And Mikey RK13 is going to have the lead of the race. Every other driver, apart from him, has decided to pit. And Mikey RK13, for the first time since last season at Las Vegas, leads a race with Gavra. He will be ecstatic with that. We're watching the AlphaTauri. I think it's JMB Surreal get a pit stop there and his front wing change. Hopefully Gav will cut back now to the lead of the group. But it is Mikey rolling the dice. Mikey's going to have to hope that there's another safety car for his strategy to work. But I think he'll be chuffed that he's leading the race. But he'll have huge pressure from Born Winner, who's gone for the medium tyres, and Shortbread has gone for the hards. Now that is an interesting choice from the two drivers. Kobe P, everybody has gone back to a different set of tyres. Dino's on the soft. He's going to try and make those last to the end, which in theory they could be able to do, to be honest. Those that started on the medium compound tyres, I think they're in a good position if they have now pitted. And that's a very good point, actually, that's just been noted. X-Natty G down in 10th place. Did he get held up in the pit lane, I wonder? Because he's not just been jumped by a few cars, he's also been jumped by Moracom in this fight for the third place and the €20 prize, if things stay as they are. Well, well, well. Now, will we get another lap of safety car? If we do, the soft tyres will certainly make it to the end of the race. We're just crossing the next part of where the sector time beam is for sector 3. So we will have another safety car here at Spa. Everyone will be trying to save as much ERS as they can. Unless your name's Sachetto, in which case you will blip the ERS for reasons unknown. Sachetto's a decent driver, to be fair to him. He had a good season last time out in Tier 2. Had a couple he was knocking on the door at some points on quite a few occasions. And Mikey has pitted. Well, Mikey's cameo at the front comes to a close, and I think Mikey is going to go to the soft tyres. He was running in 16th place anyway. He got his glory, a lap of glory at the front. And he's gone for the soft tyres. Matt Kerr and Frizzy Prism are also in. And both of them look like they're going to put on the soft compound tyre. And I think that's the right... Well, no, Matt Kerr goes for the mediums. And Matt gets held up in the pits, does he? No, just in front of Frizzy. So got a nice rainbow of tyres. Only Shortbread and Sachetto have selected the hard compound tyres. Although Sachetto has overtaken Dr. Strauss, and Miami Dillon's disconnected. Now, Sachetto, something's gone on here, has just lost about 4 seconds to the drivers in front, and he's got a 5-second time penalty for ignoring the yellow flag. I don't know what's gone on there, but I just saw the gap between the two of them. But unfortunately, it's given Sachetto a 5-second time penalty. Dr. Strauss, Miami Dillon. Miami Dillon's got a chance to get back into the lobby here. Hopefully he can. We've seen that the steps has unfortunately disconnected, and that's him out of the session, sadly, and the evening for that matter. A couple of cars at the back of the grid who have just pitted. They are circulating 15th through to 17th. So, do we have a notification? Will the safety car come in this lap? You imagine it would. Now that the field is all bunched together, and there it is. So, Born Winner becomes the de facto safety car. He will set the speed, and I've got to say, Shortbread is going to be under pressure now, because his tyres are going to be a second or so slower than Born Winner. And if he wants to get a win in this race and have any chance of taking the overall prize for first place, he's got to get past Born Winner. And he's got to do it quickly as well. Riding on board with Shortbread, the safety car has now just entered the pit lane. And go! It's Born Winner who's got a great launch, and he's already pulled away from Shortbread. A little bit of a slide into the final bus stop chicane, but it's worked out well for Born Winner. Umper has got a penalty. We haven't even resumed racing yet, but that's going to drop him down the field. But it's Umper in fourth place with Kobe P in third, Shortbread second, and Born Winner leads into turn one. And they're all going to be using the battery. That is a yellow flag. That is Dino falling down the order. He called it himself that he'd spin out or something, and that's what's happened there. Born Winner using all of the battery and more. He doesn't want Shortbread getting anywhere near him. And those medium tyres look like to be the right compound to be on right now. But you never know. There could be another safety car, and it could just change everything for a sprint towards the end of the race. Kobe P's there in third. Umper's in fourth place. Denmark's fifth. Moracom using those soft tyres to good effect. He's up to sixth. Ben's there in seventh place. Natty G's in eighth. Sachetto in ninth, but he's got a queue of soft tyre cars right behind him. Dr. Strauss, JMB Surreal, Mikey as well. All on the softs. All trying to get past the Alfa Romeo for ninth position. Kobe P picks up a time penalty. Well, that is not ideal. That's two of the top four who've got time penalties. Born Winner is now over a second and a half clear of Shortbread. And I feel that that might be that for our race lead, unless a safety car comes out again. Kobe P is trying to hang on to Shortbread, but I have to say it's very difficult. Shortbread, not a multiple champion at Gavra for nothing, even with hard tyres. Morocom looking at the back of Denmark in the fight for fifth place. Hopefully Gav will cut back to that. Look at Morocom with the grip he's got available to him. He's going to look to the outside of turn one, side by side approaching the braking zone, and yeah, he's already through before we get there. Moracom could be on his way to third place and getting that prize. Miami Dillon has rejoined, but he's down in 15th, sadly. Loads of squabbling out on circuit for the minor placings. Moracom's got to be careful he doesn't get caught out by Denmark repassing him over the top of the hill. I think Moracom's got it covered. And if he doesn't pick up a time penalty, Moracom is finishing third. And that will confirm his prize. Oh, Sachetto is going backwards. He's tumbling down the order. He's gone off the road. Sector 2. He's completely spun the car. I think he's got no front wing as well. Yeah, completely gone for Sachetto, sadly. He gets overtaken. Miami Dillon hasn't rejoined. Dino's down in 14th after his earlier shenanigans. Mikey's in 11th. He's got Frizzy all over his rear wing. But we're going to hopefully turn our attention to the fight for third, because this is what's going on. There's a queue of cars from third through to 8th place that are all in a line of a second of one another. DRS will now be enabled on the next lap. So lap 8, the drivers will be able to activate that performance advantage. Oh. Oh, Kobe P trying to shape a move on Umper. Ben Roberts is there as well. You've got Denmark and ex-Natty G all in that line of cars. Umper is going to be a sitting duck down the main straight. And let's see, Kobe P already under the diffuser of the Alpine in front, the AlphaTauri. Oh, that was a very odd discorporation between the cars. Look at this though, Moracom's got an even better run out of the pair of them. Here he comes in the Haas, they're going to try and make it free wide down the main straight. Ben Roberts is trying to make it wide, surely not towards Lake Com. It's going to be a battle of the last late breakers. And Ben Roberts, credit where credit is due, takes 2 places, he's up to 4th. Moracom's trying to use that soft tyre advantage. He's got to brake a little bit later. Ben Roberts is sideways into turn 8, and that is Moracom into 5th place, so he does get 1 in the end. Umper went from 3rd to 6th in 2 free corners. Wow. Great racecraft from everybody there. Really, really good to see everyone having a good, clean race. Oh, Ben picks up a time penalty as well. So Moracom now the only driver. There's a yellow flag. That is Dino, and it's all gone wrong for Dino tonight, sadly. Oh, huge slide from Moracom into turn 13. What a recovery. He's going to get overtaken by Umper, but that is some car control. But fair play. That is a brilliant switchback from the Haas. And he's back into the position he just lost. But he's got to get on with this. He doesn't want to get caught with DRS with the cars around him. Ben Roberts, though, is trying to do the same thing to the Kobe P in front of him. Can he brake later? Yes, is the answer. He does comfortably so. But was that tactical from Kobe P to let Ben go back in front of him to try and get DRS in a moment towards Les Comps? Nice curb hop from Kobe there. They're all on the battery, all using as much as they can, the top 8 for that matter. And lots of fights all over the circuit. It's hard to keep an eye on any of them, but Ben Roberts is going to be the man vulnerable here towards Kobe P as they approach turn number 5 here at Les Comps, and he goes through. Moracom follows them as well. That's Dino, who's retired from the race. And Dr. Strauss is out as well. No safety car at this point in the race. What a move that is from Ben Roberts. That was cheeky, and he goes through. That was brilliant into turn 8. Unfortunately, I don't think Gav caught that on the directorship because it just happened for me to just catch the overtake. Ben Roberts up to 3rd. Does have a 3-second time penalty, does Ben, unfortunately. But he's up, incredibly, Ben's up from 17th place on the grid. So he's driving brilliantly. Oh, Kobe P runs deep. Oh, a huge slide from Moracom. That's going to put the pressure on him. Denmark's right there. Can't go through. Has to slot in behind. Umper's lost the DRS. He's got Natty G with him. Fastest lap of the race, by the way, is Born Winner. It is heading towards him. This cash prize, the penultimate lap of the race. Just managing his gap to the hard shod shortbread. Kobe P is not giving this up though. He's really putting Ben Roberts under pressure. This is just showing you the competitiveness between Tier 1 and Tier 2. This is great driving from Kobe. This is really good racing. Here comes Kobe P to the outside of Ben Roberts for 3rd place. And he takes that podium position. Moracom did have DRS. He just about held onto it, but he's got pressure from Denmark behind. Now, Kobe P didn't score any points earlier. Oh, actually, rather, he did. He did score points. He finished 8th before. Moracom running in 5th place. Moracom doesn't want to lose any more points, otherwise Kobe P could be one to take 3rd place off him. But of course, don't forget those 2 time penalties for Kobe and Ben. Just let Moracom get himself back into a chance to take that €20 cash prize for 3rd. Natty G and Umper swap places, but Natty is now over 2 seconds behind. He's going to have to hope for an incident further up through the field. Loads of fights going on outside of the lower reaches of the top 10. Frizzy Prism, Matt Kerr, JMB Surreal are in the fight there for the last points of the evening. But Ben Roberts is the one we're watching at the moment. He's right with Kobe P for third place. He could get an exit here. Moracom could get an exit on the pair of them. We are on the final lap of the race. Moracom's going to look to the inside of Ben. This is the last thing that Ben wants, but Moracom should have the braking performance. He goes through. There's contact, and that's Ben, and that's Kobe P. They're all over the AstroTurf. They both survive in a straight line, but that is their positions gone. Denmark will be best placed out of anybody now to try and take advantage. Up through Eau Rouge over Radion. A little bit of DRS management from Denmark and a little bit of battery management. He should go through in the Williams for third place, and that is a move done. And Denmark gets himself into third place. It seemed like Moracom and everybody was fighting, and Kobe P's gone round. Oh, that's a shame. He was having such a good race as well. But and that's both AlphaTauris have gone off at Les Combes, an interesting development there. That is a shame. Moracom has tried his everything and utmost to get past to the drivers in front of him to get a podium. It just hasn't quite worked out for him. He still has another chance to do so. But let's cut forward, because Born Winner has been ecstatic this evening. He's been really fabulous to watch. He's got fastest lap now as well. He's approaching the final two corners. And not only will he win this race, he's also your winner for the sponsored events tonight. It's Born Winner 03 who takes it. Congratulations. Well done to Born Winner. The fastest lap point goes his way as well. And that gives him more points than Shortbread, who finishes in second. Well done to Denmark for third place. Moracom ended up fourth, despite everything he tried. Natty G in fifth place in the end, with Ben Roberts, Umpa, Kobe P, Mikey, and Miami Dylan, who I think got control of his, well, didn't get control of his car in the end. But his Ghost finishes 10th. But that was some fantastic racing from everybody. Really good to see some excellent fights on the circuit. But in the end, it was Born Winner who bested everybody. And if we look at these final points, just to give you our top three in the end, Born Winner comes out of this with 45 points in first place. Shortbread, oh so close, in second on 43. Those fastest lap points proving in the end how important it is they can be a differentiator in your fights. Moracom is going to take the last step on the podium with 27 points. He gets the third place. Well done to him. And Natty G will be next up in fourth on what will be 22 points. And the last spot, just having a quick calculation, will be Denmark in the top 5. Denmark in the end getting 17 points with 5th place. Let's just confirm those final results then. It's Born Winner with the fastest lap of the race and the victory and pole position to take the full 26 points. Shortbread in second of 18, Denmark third, Moracom in 4th place. Your other winner in terms of the cash prize tonight was Moracom, along with Shortbread and Born Winner. 6th and 5th were Ben Roberts and Natty G respectively, with Umpa, Kobe, Mikey and Miami Dylan rounding out the point scorers. Matka, Shari, Sachetto, Frizzy Prism and those were the last race finishes, with Dr. Strauss, Dino and Steps and J Sabron GT not finishing. Now, if you are watching, do stay tuned in to the stream because whilst the on-track action has now been resolved and Born Winner will be getting a wonderful €50 prize in his bank account, Shortbread getting €30 and, of course, Morocom getting 20, you lot, and maybe even me included in this, to be fair, because I'm also spectating the lobby, will now be in the draw for the €10 prize. For those that are watching, thank you very much once again to Game Changer for sponsoring this evening. It has been actually fantastic tonight to have them involved. Don't forget, you can go and check them out on www.234online.site. I'm sure that their community will enjoy having your participation in all of that. A couple of comments coming into the current Twitch chat there. Natty saying he was sandbagging, sure you were, friend. Dino having some issues with lag. That does happen. Now, there we go. So, we have the Wheel of Fortune in front of us in terms of who is going to get the viewer's reward. And it's also sort of a second chance saloon for some of the drivers who are watching as well. And here we go, the wheel is spinning. Who is going to get the €10 prize? Spins round and round and round and round. Here we go. And it's Kobe. Kobe P is the man who gets the Lucky Viewer Award. Well, lucky to everybody else who had entered there, but it does go the way of Kobe. And that is some reward. I think it goes the way to him after a good race ended quite badly. Well done, Kobe, for getting that. Fantastic. It wasn't me in the end, but well deserved. 10 Mark asking for a respin in the Twitch chat there. Fantastic. Well, that is it then in terms of this evening, as far as I'm aware. The racing has been excellent. The money will be dished out over the coming days to Born Winner, to Shortbread, to Morocom, and to Kobe P as well. And thank you once more to Game Changer for sponsoring this event. It's been brilliant to have you alongside us. Don't forget, though, for everyone who's watching, Gavra will return this week for Tier 1 for the start of the season there, 8 p.m. British Standard Time in the UK. And Tier 2 will be returning next week for the Tier 1, rather the Tier 2 Championship starts on the 15th of October. Staggered dates for this season. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining in. I've been Jack TM53, your commentator for this wonderful sponsor race that we've had tonight at Gavra Racing. And wherever you might be in the big wide world, thank you for tuning in and see you soon.